So as I'm sure you guys know by now, Chapter 239 of the Blue Lock manga introduced us to the ending of the Manshan City versus PXG match, where we see a dominant Itoshi Rin absolutely devastate Manshan City, Nagi specifically, as the final score comes to 3-1 in favor of PXG. All 3 goals scored by Itoshi Rin. Absolutely the best performance we've seen in the entirety of the manga, at least that we can assume so. Even more so than Baro's hat-trick. I know they both scored the same amount of goals, but look at the level of opponent. We know Manshan City is better than Barcha as an overall team, so we can kind of just make that assumption based off the level of opponent. But while us Rin Glazers are up, the same can't be said for those of you who fuck with Shido Ryuse. Now, it's a little sad to see what's going on right now, because even though I am the Itoshi Glazer, I do have to admit I have a soft spot for Shido every single time he comes into the manga, because he always has some of the coolest moments. But not just that, he is a lot more pivotal of a character than you'd like to think, and if you go back and reread, you would see that Shido being taken out of the narrative would actually affect the story a lot more than you'd expect. If you want to see a video on that, I'll do it a separate time, but that's not the topic of today's video. Today, we need to discuss what exactly happened to Shido Ryuse during the PXG and Manshan City match. Now, while I was heavy, and I really do mean heavy, on the theory that he was going to get red carded by injuring Chigiri, tearing his ACL, or just messing him up for the rest of his career, that was not the case, as we see Chigiri at the end of the game ushering Nagi to try and stop Rin from scoring, something that he wasn't able to do successfully. So we can just rule out the fact that Shido didn't, Brexit Chigiri and end his career. However, I guess we can't really rule out the possibility of Shido getting a red card. We know what kind of a player Shido is. Maybe he just lost it on somebody and took them out for the rest of the game. We really don't know. Maybe that's why that one U20 defender with the goatee, I forgot his name, but maybe that's why he was subbed into the match. I don't know. That's kind of a headcanon-y assumption that I can make, but it's definitely a possibility if you honestly know who Shido Ryuse is and take into account what he's done in the past. But realistically, I think this was a narrative choice in order to show how dominant Itoshi Rin currently is at the moment, and raising the stakes for Isagi, because even though we did just see him awaken to a higher level than we've ever seen him at before, the bar that he has to get himself to just raised even higher. And let's not forget, there is still Kaiser, who, let's face it, just due to feats alone, that's why I have a Rin above Kaiser in my current rankings. If we were going to factor in narrative reasoning, as well as just, to use common sense here, Kaiser would still be above Rin, in my opinion. I still think he's the best New Gen 11, period. But that's just wishful thinking, and feats can't really back that at the moment. And sadly for Shido, he is seriously lacking a lot of feats right now. We know he scored in the Ubers versus PXG match, which is saying something, because the Ubers defense is realistically no joke, even though I have had my gripes with them in the past. They are said to be the best defense in the entire Neo Egoist League and roster. For roster, yes, they are. I will admit so. It was stated on the final page of Chapter 239 that Itoshi Rin single-handedly devastated Manshan City. Seeing that the author specifically stated single-handedly leads me to believe that, well, one, PXG isn't really a teamwork type of a team. As we already stated, PXG in the French league specifically has a lot of money. They're the one league with the most investors, as well as having the most young talent. What I think this is going to mean is they are going to be overflowing with talent from every single position, maybe having multiple new Gen 11s on their one roster, similar to how PSG is in real life, or at least how they were. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe, even Sergio Ramos all on the pitch at the same time. Not to mention every other player that they had who was top tier at every single position they were playing. They just didn't work too well. Said to be the gateway to success for newcomers and young players, I can totally see this happening, as well as Shido kind of getting shunned to the side due to the fact that Rin is just showing how much of a superstar he is. However, we can't deny that Shido himself is one hell of a player. If I were to get really headcanon here and make a really crazy assumption about Shido, I would say that one, he either got traded to fill up some market cap space, hopefully to Madrid so that he can, reunite with his boyfriend Sai, as well as the batshit crazy, but potential possibility, given what Blue Lock really is, that Loki chose to bench Shido for this match, only to bench Rin in the next match, just to see if they go goal for goal. You know what I'm saying? I know it sounds ridiculous, and it's most likely not going to happen, but it's Blue Lock at the end of the day that we're talking about. It's a possibility. I mean, come on. Shido did get dragged out of my top 10, sadly. He is going to be firmly placed back up in the top 10 once we see something from him again. I do feel like narratively, no matter what, he's always going to be right next to Rin wherever you place him. But then as of right now, I feel like you can even put Isagi above him just due to the fact that Isagi's like overall game presence and game mastery, as well as just his ability to control the game with his metavision, is just a little too dominant at the moment, and you can't really deny that from him. But that's just me, and I also don't weigh simply scoring ability over everything else, because that's really all that we know Shido has, so I'm still going to keep Isagi above him. That's kind of obvious, though. As for what to expect in the Bastion Munich vs. PXG match, I am going to make a separate video for that, probably record it right now, because there is a lot that you have to say about it. There's a lot of speculation to be had, a lot of guessing to be made on players. The new valuations going into it could fluctuate depending on where people have been placed, who's been subbed in, as well as who we will eventually see climb their way up the ranks before the match comes. Because don't you forget, as we can assume, we're probably going to see a Bastion Munich bye week right now, which is going to lead to the PXG match the following week. We're going to have to definitely build hype, which is why I'm saying the possibility of Shido entering the match instead of Rin at the striker position, playing alongside the PXG lineup, seeing who's a better fit for that striker role, could be an interesting narrative to spin, given Blue Lock's history of being absolutely ridiculous. But if we are going to be realistic, we're most likely going to see another dominant performance by Rin. Keep in mind, they're playing Barcha, the weakest team of the lot. Who knows, maybe I'm completely batshit crazy and Bachira just solos the entire team. You never know. That could... It's not going to happen, but, you know, it could. However, I do believe that it is a huge mistake on the author's part if he is not using Shido Ryuse, because without a doubt, he is the most popular character in Blue Lock. At the current moment, I'd say Isagi's a little bit divided amongst fans. I know a lot of people who hate him, as well as a lot of people who love him. However, with Shido Ryuse, I feel like everybody realistically loves him, unless you're like homophobic or something, but then that's your own issue, man. I don't think anybody actually has a problem with Shido Ryuse. Every single time he steps on the pitch, it's a memorable moment. Whether he is scoring a banger or scoring a once-in-a-lifetime banger, or just saying that he's about to bust. This dude steals the show every single time he's on the page. So, not utilizing him in a way that would showcase not only his newfound skills, but just give a little bit of fan service to the fans who love him and have been wanting to see more from him since the U20 match. I get it, he got a lot of love in the U20 match, but still, there's a reason that everybody loves him. So give us more of him. We want to see more Shido Ryuse. And if we had the choice, if I had the choice specifically, I would go with the batshit crazy option, to where Loki says, okay, Rin, you had your moment to shine and show Isagi what you can really do by dropping your dick on Manshine City, right? Let's let Shido go in this match. Again, he's the coach, so he can say whatever he wants. Let's let Shido go in this match, drop his dick on Barcha, so that he can show what he's about, but see whose dick is truly bigger, right? I feel like this is going to be Rin, and this is going to be Shido at the end of the day. You see, like, it's not that much of a difference, but then what do I know at the end of the day? I'm just wearing a Barcha hoodie and Goku shorts. I really don't know anything. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. I really don't know what they're doing, not including Shido Ryuse in the current state of the manga, because like I said, the dude is loved. Even looking at my research analytics, I know you weird motherfuckers are looking at Shido Ryuse more than every other character in Blue Lock, more than basically every other topic in Blue Lock besides the current manga chapter. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you went on to enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like, consider subscribing down to the channel with post notifications turned on so you never miss another banger from myself. I'm going to be having videos coming daily. I am sorry for missing out on my video yesterday, as well as not double uploading like I said it would today. I got a little busy and I couldn't really find time to record, but I'm trying to fit in as many recording sessions right now as I can. So I'm just going to be getting onto it. Don't mind me in the next video if I'm wearing the same outfit. That's because I'm recording all these at once. But anyways, yeah, I love you guys. Take it easy.